morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Carlos Vaca, Vice President of Investor Relations at Fortuna Mining. It's a real pleasure to be here with you again. Fortuna is a precious metals producer listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker FSM and on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the ticker FVI. Today, I will provide a brief overview of our business, our growth profile, and how Fortuna represents a liquid and disciplined way to gain exposure to rising gold and silver prices. Fortuna has 305 million shares outstanding and a market capitalization of $3.5 billion US. On Friday, our share price closed at $11.65 US. At a high level, Fortuna's investment case rests on four core pillars. First, we are producing today, with cash flowing operations across multiple jurisdictions. Second, we have visible growth, driven primarily by organic opportunities within our existing portfolio. Third, we maintain a disciplined approach to capital allocation, supported by a strong balance sheet. And importantly, that discipline also extends to returning capital to shareholders. Between December 23rd and January 7th, the company returned approximately $17 million US to shareholders through share repurchases at a weighted average price of $10 US per share. This reflects our view that capital should be allocated where it delivers the best risk-adjusted returns, whether that is in reinvesting in the business, advancing growth projects, or returning capital directly to shareholders. This slide summarizes the foundation of Fortuna today. We operate in jurisdictions where we have long-standing experience, maintain a meaningful reserve and resource base, and apply cost discipline. We also have a clear development pipeline, with the Diamba Sud Gold Project in Senegal advancing towards a construction decision expected in the first half of 2026. Fortuna produces gold, silver, lead, and zinc, and we report production in gold equivalent ounces to reflect the combined economic contribution of these metals. The recent decline in reported production reflects the deliberate divestiture of short reserve life assets rather than operational underperformance. The divestiture of the San Jose mine in Mexico and the Yaramoko mine in Burkina Faso streamlined the portfolio and sharpened our capital focus. Today, Fortuna operates in Latin America and West Africa. This regional focus provides operational depth, local expertise, and a competitive advantage when advancing projects within these jurisdictions. For 2026, we're guiding production of between 281 to 305,000 gold equivalent ounces at an all-in sustaining cost of between $1,830 to $1,975 US per GEO. Our three producing mines are the Séguéla mine in Côte d'Ivoire, Lindero in Argentina, and Caylloma in Peru. Fourth quarter 2025 production was impacted by temporary mechanical downtime of the crushing circuit at Lindero. Those issues have been resolved. They were resolved in December, and operations have since returned to normal. For the full year 2025, Fortuna produced 317,000 GEOs, achieving our annual guidance reflecting consistent execution across the portfolio. Our operational performance translated into strong financial results. Revenue increased meaningfully year over year to $677 million US, with free cash flow from operations of $198 million US, demonstrating the leverage our operating assets provide in a higher gold and silver price environment. This slide illustrates how rising gold prices flow through our business. Because we operate producing assets, higher prices translate directly into improved margins and stronger cash generation. Our balance sheet underpins our strategy. We exited 2025 with approximately $700 million US in liquidity and a net cash position of $382 million US, providing flexibility to fund growth internally, manage risk, and remain disciplined in capital allocation. Our exploration strategy is disciplined and targeted. For 2026, we have a total exploration budget of $55 million compared to $50 million invested in 2025, with approximately 52% focused on brownfields and near mine opportunities, where we can extend mine life and create value with lower geological risk. Séguéla in Côte d'Ivoire is our most important near-term growth opportunity. The mine currently produces at a rate of between 160 to 170,000 ounces of gold per year. Séguéla's mine life now exceeds 9 years, following the recent announced expansion of mineral reserve gold ounces by 31%. Based on continued exploration success, we have initiated a plant expansion study to evaluate increasing throughput from 1.75 million tons per year to a range of 2 to 2.5 million tons per year. If approved, this expansion has the potential to increase annual gold production to more than 200,000 ounces of gold from an operation that is already built, operating, and generating cash. The study is expected to be completed in the second quarter of 2026. At Lindero in Caylloma, the focus is on operational consistency, cost control, and life of mine optimization. These assets provide stable production and cash flow while we advance growth opportunities in our portfolio. Diamba Sud in Senegal represents the next phase of Fortuna's growth. The PEA completed in October 2025 outlined a project with robust economics, competitive costs, and meaningful scale. We are advancing early works at Diamba Sud, continuing exploration and progressing towards a construction decision targeted for mid-2026. Diamba's initial 3-year average production is of approximately 150,000 ounces of gold at an all-in sustaining cost of approximately $904 per ounce. Our ESG ratings reflect consistently strong performance across environmental, social, and governance metrics, supported by disciplined operating practices, robust oversight, and a demonstrated commitment to continuous improvement across our portfolio. Liquidity is important for investors. Fortuna trades on the New York Stock Exchange with a 3-month average daily trading volume of approximately 8.8 million shares, and on the Toronto Exchange with approximately 1.3 million shares traded per day. That totals around $80 to $100 million worth of stock being traded every day at both the New York Stock Exchange and Toronto. The level of liquidity makes Fortuna an efficient vehicle for both retail and institutional investors seeking exposure to gold and silver. When combining stable production from our operating mines, potential near-term growth at Séguéla, and medium-term growth from Diamba Sud, we see a clear path towards approximately 500,000 gold equivalent ounces. This growth is primarily organic. At the same time, we remain open to selective accretive acquisitions that align with our strategy and capital discipline. Our 2026 guidance reflects a focused, high-quality operating base. It establishes a solid production and cost foundation while we advance clearly defined growth catalysts, including the Séguéla plant expansion study and the progression of Diamba Sud towards a construction decision by mid-year. Taken together, this guidance underscores that Fortuna is executing from a position of strength with financial flexibility. In summary, Fortuna offers producing mines a strong balance sheet, increasing cash flow, visible growth, and meaningful leverage to rising gold and silver prices, supported by a strong trading liquidity. Thank you very much for your time today.